Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a huge strategy that can solve some of the biggest talent headaches companies are dealing with right now. And the secret? It's all about looking inward. We're going to see how tying your onboarding directly to internal mobility can unlock some seriously incredible potential.
So let's kick things off by really digging into the problem. Because let's face it, in the modern workplace, the ground has completely shifted under our feet. Things are just different now.
Right? This is the big question. This is what keeps leaders up at night. The old school straight line career ladder, it just doesn't cut it anymore. Your employees, they expect more, and you know what? They want to see a clear path forward with you.
And let's be super direct about this. If your people can't see a visible path to grow inside your company, well, they're going to start looking for one outside of it. It's really that simple. A lack of growth opportunities is one of the biggest reasons people quit.
Okay, so what do we do about it? Well, the good news is there's an incredibly powerful strategy that tackles this problem head on, and it's one that's already getting a ton of traction.
And it all comes down to this one core concept: internal mobility. Now, this isn't just about climbing that ladder. We're talking about creating real, structured opportunities for people to grow their careers in all sorts of directions without ever having to leave the company. I love this quote because it just nails the mindset shift we're talking about. You're moving away from this rigid, one-size-fits-all path to something way more flexible, more dynamic, and honestly, a lot more exciting. And you should know, this is not some small, niche idea. A staggering 86% of HR leaders are now saying that internal mobility is a top priority. They get it. They know that growing your talent from within is absolutely essential to stay competitive. So let's get into exactly why this is such a huge deal. Because when you look at the hard data, the benefits of internal mobility are, well, they're pretty hard to argue with. So check this out. This data from LinkedIn tells a really powerful story. Just look at that huge jump in loyalty for people who get promoted internally. But what's really interesting is that even a lateral move, not even a promotion, makes someone way more likely to stay. The takeaway here is crystal clear. Any kind of internal move, any opportunity for growth, dramatically boosts loyalty. And the advantages just pop when you put internal and external hires side by side. Your internal folks, they get up to speed way faster. I mean, it can take an external hire up to 2 years just to match their performance. Plus, they already know the culture. They cost about 18% less, and they're less likely to leave. It's a win-win-win. And the long-term payoff is massive. Companies that are really good at this stuff, the ones with high internal mobility, they see their people stay, on average, 53% longer. Think about all that institutional knowledge you're keeping, all that talent you're nurturing for the long haul.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, all right, I'm sold, but how do we actually do this? Let's walk through a practical 6-step playbook for making internal mobility a reality right from day one.
The first 3 steps are all about completely reframing your onboarding process. First, from the moment someone walks in the door, you're showing them where they can go. Second, you have to treat every internal move like a big deal, with its own structured reboarding. And third, you need to shift the whole focus of onboarding based on one simple, powerful idea.
And this is it. This quote from Jess Von Bank is the central mantra. It's about creating employees who see themselves as citizens of the whole company, not just people stuck in one job title. When you give them that big picture view from the very beginning, they're so much better equipped to move around and add value in new ways down the line. All right, the next 3 steps are about building the systems that make this all work. You've got to connect people to learning resources. That's huge. You need to build out mentorships and networks so people can actually see the opportunities. And finally, your policies have to make it easy. You can't have managers hoarding their talent. You have to make it okay, even encouraged, for people to move. And if you ever, for a second, need a reminder of why this all matters, this is it. Look at this. When people are choosing a new job, more of them prioritize a clear career path over better pay. Let that sink in. Your growth opportunities are your single best recruiting tool, period. Okay, let's bring this all home and look at the big picture. Let's talk about the incredible, self-sustaining system you create when you get this right. So if there's one thing you take away from this, it's this right here. Onboarding and internal mobility are not 2 separate things your HR team does. They are a single, integrated strategy. A great onboarding process plants the seeds for future growth. And every successful internal move proves that your promises of growth are real. It creates this amazing virtuous cycle.
So at the end of the day, this whole thing is about unlocking the massive potential that is already inside your company, on your team, right now. It all starts from that very first welcome aboard. The question isn't whether you have the talent. Of course you do. The real question is, have you built the pathways to let them truly shine?